There we go. There we go. That's on. There we go. Right there. That's on. There we go. Double white maggot on hook. Lovely fish to end on. Yeah, you know, there's certain fisheries around UK that you just look at and you think, problems. Well, this right here is the Chesterfield Canal that runs through the Worksop town centre, and you've got Shireoaks that way, and that way takes you out of Worksop, down past through Retford that way. And just because canals are on so much demand, just like still waters are, and rivers, I thought today, for Fishery Audit 26, I would bring you up here and walk here from locks 44 up to 51. And that way you can get a good view on the fishing that's available, how to obtain a day ticket, prices per year, and get a good look at all the pegs, places you can park, and the access. Ultimately, and just show you all what's on offer. So, we're in Worksop town centre now. I'm going to walk you down to Bracebridge. That's where the fishing rights for this stretch start, and I will walk you all the way up through Worksop town centre, up past Sandy Lake that we've done a fishery audit on before, and then right up to Shireoaks where the fishing rights stop, that are controlled by this stretch of canal from the lovely Ken Ward's fishing shop in Worksop town centre, which from where I'm stood now is literally a 1 minute walk. If it wasn't for Matalan, you'd be able to see it. So without further ado, let's get to it. So here we are, lock 44, which is just behind me here, and this is known as Bracebridge lock. This is the bridge. Now, all the canal from this point that way is not on today's fishery audit fishing rights. Okay, I've had a chat with him before and I've asked what's the situation with fishing on here, and it's just unmonitored fishing. What I will say is there's not as much fishing and better quality fishing in that end of the canal than there is from here onwards. From this area onwards there will be fishing there, but it's a long old stretch down to the next lock, and the fish are never in one spot. Like you can go a long period without catching, then you might be on them one day. So the idea of all these locks up here is all the fish have found sort of familiar comfort within the locks. Like from here onwards, there's quite a few koi carp in with some big carp. There's also some big pike in here, and they've kind of just hung around in this area for a long time. Just for reference, this is High Ho Road that takes you from, so that's Manton over there in Worksop, and you've got the McDonald's down there. High Ho Road takes you all the way back up this way, up into Worksop. So just for a bit of reference, because there's a bit of street parking here, which always check when you get here to make sure that parking rights are going to work in your favour, etc. But yeah, if you can park in the state up there, or if you're one of these that likes to just park and then go for a walk and find your fishing, then by all means. But that's High Ho Road, and then this is Bracebridge Lock. So from here onwards is where we're going to be concentrating on. Now, also what I'll say, there look, Bracebridge Lock, and then Lock 44 or Bridge 44. So, what I will say is before we start, it is an active fishery. Gets plenty of people fishing on here. This time of year, canal fishing kind of takes a bit of a knock on head everywhere, so I don't think we're going to see many people fishing today. But it is a very active walkway through a very busy town with some very busy estates around it as well. So you're going to see litter, like a magnitude of litter. You're going to see lots. It's been thrown in, it's been dropped in, and it's been blown in. So make as you will. What I am not doing is walking around and just picking up every tiny little bit of litter I can see on camera and pointing fingers, because that is up to the general public more than anything. It's not someone's day job to sail up and down a canal picking litter up. It is an active cycle path as well. There's a sign there saying, oh, I think it's on the back of this one. So you can jump on your bike here. On the other side, cyclist dismount. So it is an active cycleway as well. And if any of you are into your biking, it'd be quite a nice ride to do, as much as you can really, the whole stretch. There's somebody's property here. Couple of canal boats. This holds some great fish. Not a lot of people fish down here, and I don't know why. But there's some huge carp in here. There's some big koi carp. Morning! There's some big koi carp. There's some massive pike. And I've brought my lads up before, and you know, they've had an half decent hour or two catching roach and perch. So, but there is loads of surprises. I've seen chub come out of here, tench, some nice tench. But because angling tends to be focused further on up that way, you tend to get all your better fish down this end. But yeah, in summer when you can see, but yeah, in summer when you can just see through the surface, you can watch koi carp go all the way up and down, and it's what somebody's chucked in over years. You've got an estate here to the left, some parking there. Again, make sure you check as you're pulling up that you're not in breach of any parking restrictions. Just a simple set of steps there, and you could sort of walk up from your car with your tackle if you wanted to. But it's only fishing from this left hand bank most of the way up. But when we get up towards Shireoaks, it actually jumps over onto the other side, but I'll show you that when we get there. But the far bank all the way down here, it's all trees, it's non-accessible, and your fish tend to hug that far line over there for some cover. Yeah, so I'm going to get a trot on today and get a good walk on. Again, you've got bits of crap. There's a computer gaming chair over there. Look what someone's thrown in. It could have gone in absolutely anywhere and just made its way down. So you will see lots of litter on your travels. Another car park here. Again, I don't think there's any parking restrictions in this little bit, but just check the signs on the post before you come in. But it's been alright for me in the past. I've just parked in there, walked by with a bit of tackle and had a few hours fishing. A lot of work's gone on down this end recently because it was suffering for quite a while with lots of overgrowth on this left hand side, and it seems to have been trimmed away nicely and maintained. So yeah, I'm going to get a tab on, and it's more helping me with a bit of exercise as well, showing you this. Like down here, look, there's another entrance here, but it's somebody's garages, so you'd have to just be mindful. If you knocked on the door and asked and they said it was alright, then I guess, you know, you're halfway there, but just be careful before you come up here about where you're parking. Yeah, and we're just coming up to first bridge here, and then you've got a gap between there, behind Sugar Plant, Whitworth Sugar, and then up to main bridge in Worksop town centre. But like most canals, there's no pegs, you just fish front bank. So you have to be mindful of poles behind you and landing net handles, and just, it is an active cycleway. I know a lot of people moan about canal boats and cyclists, but the canals weren't put here for fishing. So please remember that before people start, you know, getting their hair off about canal boats and cyclists doing their heads in. Yeah, lots of cover here. Some of these overhanging branches really do fill up, and sometimes I do regularly see a chap fishing here on pole, and he does well for perch. There's a big lure over there, look, in that tree. Yeah, so it does have its day. If you know what you're doing, you can have a blinding day's fishing on here. There's a power cable going over there. I never noticed that before. It's like it's covered in fishing line. So you have to be mindful of that. And then down here, there's also some big bream in here. Like, not so much skimmers, but more bream. And there's loads of them, and you can actually watch them spawning right in edge. And you can walk right up to edge and you don't spook them off either. They're really open to spawning in open water. And you can watch them pretty much all the way up this stretch. A few years I've been here now, and it seems to be the same bunch of bream every time. Seem to stay away from locks when they're in use. And pike as well like to hug themselves right in here. Right, so we'll go through this bit of a walkway here, and then under this bridge, which is bridge 43. And we've got family of swans. These have been here years and years. An house over there just next to them. Always friendly and feeding them and looking after them. Good morning. I ain't got no for you, I'm sorry. And you've got all this area down here. So there's Whitworth sugar plant, active, very noisy. And then you've got, from this bridge, sort of all the way down here. And if you can get, it's free parking on here as well. There's no parking restrictions there, but majority of Royal Mail staff like to park there for when they go into work. And it's pretty much the same thing all the way down. So you've got that far bank, all your foliage, reeds, bulrushes, everything all the way down that far bank. And the idea is, especially this time of year, or just coming to end of summer, when your weed and everything's starting to die away, get a pole out there and just drop in for a few little roach. And you do end up getting a few surprises. So, yeah, very nice. So I'll walk you up here now, past Whitworth Sugar. Don't see a lot of anglers on this bit either. So it's not highly pressured. I'm quite surprised how it don't get as many people fishing it, to be fair, because it has got loads of fish in here. It is stuffed with them. And I think because of the lack of angling and just, I don't know, the amount of use it gets, because it can be quite a busy canal, this bit, this stretch with boats going through, going off up towards Retford. I think the fish are just experiencing the worst of it all the time. So yeah, you do see plenty. They're very active, and you do catch them as well. Yeah, so there's another lure in that tree there. Just see orange. I've seen 2 or 3 already. There's a red one over there as well. You do get a lot of people down here for pike, and they do quite well on them as well. Catch and release. We've walked down before where we've found 2 or 3 pike dead on the floor, and a couple of kids said, oh, somebody were fishing for them, and he doesn't agree with putting them back in. So please don't ever be that person that gets caught killing pike and leaving them on the floor. But yeah, that sugar plant, water goes right up close to it, hugs it all the way down. And there's plenty of fish in here. There's plenty of koi carp. I've seen bright gold ones, big white ones, like some nice ghost kois, like mirror carp as well. Further up, there's some huge carp in the next stretch, like huge. So we'll not be able to see them because now Harthill Reservoir's functioning and releasing a nice, good flow of coloured water. That's what's put all the colour into this bit of canal, because Harthill actually feeds Chesterfield Canal. And for a long time in winter, this stretch of canal has been gin clear. You could actually see the carp resting on the bellies in Trackett Canal. So this amount of colour will help build the confidence up for feeding. But yeah, there's some monster pike further up as well. I'll take you up there soon. So yeah, I'm just going to press on. Again, I'm not talking much about the rubbish, you know, like crap that's in here, because like look around you, there's businesses, industrial estates absolutely everywhere, and a lot of them do back right onto the canal. So you have to be quite, you know, wary of, it's not just somebody coming down and chucking 43 chip trays in. Like it will have been a bin that's blown over and then emptied in. It does get abused, but this is a very busy part of the canal. Like over there, look at all the rubbish in just that short space, that small space. Take duck seem happy. Getting some head down. Yeah, and then here you've got Matalan. And just a bit further up, they've actually done some repairs to the wall. I don't know if they're permanent repairs, but I know it's definitely been repaired. For a long time, if you wanted to pass through here via boat, you had to wait for Canal and River Trust to come and open the lock and guide you round. I'll show you when we get there, but guide you round all the rubble that had fallen in. Like over there, look. So that's back of Matalan there. That's goods in, where they load underneath there. Main car park's at front. If you just look at all the rubbish that's blown up against that fence. So they're going to be probably one of the main culprits. And luckily that fence is holding a lot of it behind still. And again, on this side, you've got people's homes, like people do live here, so just be respectful when you're down. But yeah, it's this now it's got some colour in it, and it's being fed well. It looks great. Like, it does fish well anyway. Like, I've brought daughter down before and we've pulled up, got out with a rod and a net, just with an handful of maggots, and we've just sat and caught like roach and rudd off at top on waggler, just like pellet waggler effect, and I've caught plenty of fish. There's a sign here: Canal River Trust Worksop Cuckoo Wharf towpath closure. Right, so that's where we are now. Canal River Trust will be undertaking maintenance repair works, canal wall and resurfacing at the above lock site from 6th of January till 7th of March 2025. To ensure public safety, we'll be closing the towpath past this site. Sorry for any inconvenience. Further information, please contact the next number. So that's from, yeah, so we are a bit further up. I'll show you where it's from. This is a gym here, I believe. It's active as well. If anyone's local and wants a gym membership, I'm sure this is it there. You got this nice big archway. And then there's Matalan car park on your right. There's an old loading crane up. And you've got Worksop Town Centre over there. So here's the repairs that have been done. So I'm guessing that is just a temporary repair. And what's going to happen is, well, I'll tell you what happened. It all just collapsed and fell in. So what'll happen next is they'll probably just come, take it all out, rebuild it, refill it, resurface it. So it's from here. So from this point here, up past the bridge and just towards next car park, that's where it's going to be close to. So not be able to walk through here. Right, I'll take you under this bridge now. Again, this is not a nice place to be if you're coming under it. It's where everyone goes to the toilet. So just be mindful if you're coming under it. I have to duck walking under because I'm taller than the space that's allowing me to walk. But just under here, so you've got bridge 42, lock 50. So again, silt rubbish down there. And we're going to be walking up that way. So, very active bridge going over at top. And we're going to go up this way. And again, all this gets cleared out. Whenever you get sort of canal boats coming up through here, a lot of them do tend to clear a lot of this out just to stop it from going further downstream, which is good. This stretch, so it's all private on your right hand side, it's non-questionable, you can't fish from there. This stretch is the Priory car park in Worksop Town Centre. So there's the big Priory there. It's like a big shopping centre. Not really much going off in it at the minute, half of them are closed down. And you've got all the car park here, look. So you've got access right to Canal here. And I've parked here before, up and boot, put tackle on here. And again with daughter, we've had a blinding day fishing, catching loads of roach and perch, and that day she nearly hooked a pike that were just ridiculous. It was like a monster. Yeah, we're just going to walk up around this way, but parking in there isn't extortionate. Quite cheap considering. There's a burger van in there as well. There's hot dogs and everything, quite nice. You've got Costa, got everything in there, so plenty of food to go at. And this area here in summer is where you most commonly see the carp. So there's entrance here from car park, and then you get like a few reeds and pads just under that tree there, and that's where you see carp. And there's two or three over £20. There's one that's probably going on for about 26. Meant to be original fish as well, from people that have lived here for 40 years. Right, walk down this way. So again, you've got another pass area here. You can get through on a bike if you really wanted to. So someone's recently done some trimming, look, because all that stuff there is just floating around in there. Yeah, we're going to carry on walking up this way. So again, you've got a big housing unit over there. It's all private. It's like a new estate that you get into from the other side. So you can't fish from that side. But just remember, when you're fishing here, people live there, so just be respectful. Go a bit further up here. I think there's a couple of kids up here fishing, so try not to go in their way. Right then, from this area, you've got a nice big bay here, which was once a passing place or turning circle for boats. You get loads of pike go sitting all across that back line over there as well, so an area of interest for you pikers. Massive tree down. I've actually seen on Chesterfield Canal Trust page on Facebook that they're aware of it, and clearly people have been down with chainsaws and started making a path through it there, look, so. But obviously a problem. Come out of that garden there, look, see roots. Wow, that's really come over, hasn't it? I want chopping up that. Needs a service boat down here. But we'll get onto service boats a bit further up, because there's a place up there which might be involved in helping getting that tree removed. Yeah, nice house over there. Every time Mrs. walk past, they always say, well, next time I fall down a drain or a bus wing mirror hits me in head, whatever money we get, I'm buying that place. I want to sit fishing right there on end all day, every day. Yeah, lots of maintenance has gone on around here. There's a massive tree all chopped up there, and I can see it's come from here. Yeah, all logs and everything are all in there. You can just see them. So that's recently been done. And you've got over there Sandy Lake, which I've done a fishery audit on before. Full of fish. Definitely get yourself up there and get some fishing done on there. It is absolutely stuffed with them. And them two lads down there are piking. This area is full of them, really full of them. So it's a good area to be fishing for pike up and down here. But yeah, Sandy Lake, full of fish, some massive bream in there. I've had some great days up bream and some big carp as well. So yeah, we'll get up here. There's another turning circle just up here, so I'll get to that bit. So down here has undergone lots of maintenance, because I know it's that time of year where there's no leaves on trees, but all this has been trimmed right in. Like a lot of that has been cut, so there are times when walking down here, you'd have like all this bush here and it was just sticking out. Bit of a pain. But yeah, very, very nice. And you've got your turning circle here. Nice area as well. It's not very deep, but it does hold some nice roach and rudd. So don't ever put this bit off if ever you come down just roving around with a little whip, or I don't know, even lure fishing for pike, or even just coming down with a little waggler rod and just roving around. This is a nice area. Holds loads of fish, especially across that far bank, because fish know that there's no human traffic over there. There's no access to it from that far bank either. And then over this side you've got Worksop Rugby Club and all this sort of just dead land here which don't get used for anything. Yeah, really nice. Nice and fresh this morning. It's quite nice for a walk, so it's not a chore at all bringing you down Chesterfield Canal and showing you. Even if there's anyone out there that's not an avid angler, fisherman, it's a lovely walk up here, so anyone that's just affiliated with the interest of Chesterfield Canal in general, you know, if you want to share this video on one of your pages, by all means go for it, because it's a very pleasant walk down here. Yeah, and then again all that far bank there, pretty much all the way down until we do cross over onto the other side later on. It's like a good holding spot for fish. You do get some nice chub on that far line as well, but just as much fishing down track. I know a chap who fishes, I don't know his name, but he fishes up here quite a lot on Canal, especially a bit further up, and he'll fish down track all day on a bit of redworm, like feeding castor and a couple of maggots, and he does really well for bream. And I've seen him catch some big, like 4 or 5 pound chub out of here. Really healthy fish as well. Right, we are now at the gates for the next lock. Again, you've got your tie down points here for your canal boats. Got your spillway coming off over there. And does quite well for perch down around these locks. Again, if anyone's after a bit of drop shotting or fishing for perch, just in front of these gates, even in the lock. A few people do quite well for perch. So Bridge 41C. National Cycle Network. If you go over this bridge, follow the path round and then over that bridge, that takes you onto Sandy Lake. And this is Lock 49, Morse Lock. And again, just for a bit of reference, behind Sandy Lake up there, you've got B&Q, Wicks, Pets at Home, PC World, I think it is. So, just for anyone wondering just whereabouts I am, if you know where they are, then you can sort of kind of work it out. But failing that, as you're flicking through video on YouTube or whatever, get Google Maps on your phone and you'll be able to have a good look. Again, it's pretty much the same story up that far bank. Look, it's all overgrown, but water goes right back under. So you do get a lot of fish tucking themselves way under there. Probably be a nice time here for me to come down and do a bit of canal fishing, because I don't think this canal's ever looked this good in a long time. A lot of maintenance has gone off down here. You can actually see where they've trimmed all this away. Me walking up and down here a bit back, I was just forever just walking with me back arched over, because bloody 6'19". Yeah, nice big tree area over there. There's an housing estate at the back of there. And just round this corner, there's a couple more industrial units. There's a rugby pitch. Looks like it's recently had a game on it with estate at pitch. Well, its moles are just very happy. And then you've got a nice straight here, look. And you've got this one more bend here before it bends round to where the lock keeper is in Worksop, if you know where that is. I'm trying to just grab as much as I can in one go on video for you, whilst keeping a good pace going. But yeah, if you walk up and down here, even sort of when the water's clear, near summertime when it's not, it's only really dark now because of water that's pushing out of our till and topping it up. But you see loads of pike, and they like to sit right down here in edge, and that way they're out of everybody's way, because as you're walking down, look, you can't see down in that angle there, so it's probably just as much cover for them. So anybody thinking about coming for a bike ride or coming to enjoy Chesterfield Canal, it doesn't just end here either. Like, you can go all the way down, especially back where we've come. Obviously this way, between here and Chesterfield, you've got the section between Kiverton and Staveley, which got filled in years ago, so there's not an active canal there anymore. But if you've got your wits about you, you can still walk the actual original site where it once used to be, or cycle it and get yourself down that way. And I know a few people that do it, and they always seem to enjoy it. Got a big wagon there, look, unloading something. Not sure what that is, big old thing. Yeah, and you've got this big industrial unit here to your right hand side. You've got an outlet there coming from, I think it's that yard over there, the courtyard. It's the flood overflow from yard. Big drains in floor, and it just comes into the canal. Not ideal which state of UK rivers and canals at the minute, but it's I guess it saves flooding a company and, you know, causing even probably more damage, who knows. But right, I'm just coming up to this bridge now. It is the bridge and the lock at the lock keeper, and on your right hand side you might just be able to see them canal boats there, and their service canal boats for maintenance. And just here is the Canal and River Trust Worksop depot, and that's who they belong to. This area here, and pretty much down there just as far as that bend. A few regular matches happen on here. Chapo and Paul, Goose, he sometimes jumps on here, and they do quite well. Everybody catches. Again, it's canal fishing, it's not like you're bagging up on carp, but walking up and down here as many times as I have, I've seen plenty of people catching some nice bream and chub. So don't just rule it off as canal fishing and you're not going to catch much, there's plenty near to be caught. So yeah, these boats here are for Canal and River Trust Worksop depot. We've got an overspill here, so water goes out this way and down and feeds further down that way. That's the Worksop depot Canal and River Trust building, and this is sort of their backyard area. And these are service boats, so whenever any maintenance need doing, or you know, if they need to get a unit down there anywhere on canal for any sort of maintenance work or repair work, that's what they're for. Here there's another turning circle and I believe another outlet. So this big area here is your turning circle, and even this bit's quite shallow, a bit further up there in that corner, but you can actually park. I'll take you to that bit in a minute. You can park over there and actually just walk through edge down and get you some perched up here and enjoy a bit of fishing if you're looking for it and you want a bit of fishing on canal. I'll just show you where we are, just so you know. Somebody told me this used to be a marina at one point. Don't know how true that is. I've always thought that the arch on this bridge is just a bit too low for that, but I could be wrong. Well, not me, but the chap that told me could be. Yeah, so if you were coming off at Main Road here, there's Lockkeeper roundabout. You can probably work it out. Lockkeeper's there. We've got McDonald's and everything over there, and you can just perch yourself in here and come and have a day's fishing. Right, just going under Bridge 41A. That's a sign, look. Business Park, Superstore, A60. You've got Asda and everything just over there. We'll walk you under here. And again, this bit gets ignored quite a bit, but I've seen a couple of people actually up and down here as I've come before on my travels, fishing for perch. Some massive perch in here. A lot of people don't fish from as much as what they should do, but there are a couple of chaps that know exactly what they're doing and what to look for. Yeah, look, so you've got Asda over there, Subway. So if you probably know where we are now. Worksop Stretlock, number 48. And again, just for clarity, it's an active lock, gets used quite frequently, gets plenty of use. And in this little area here, it actually drained a bit back, right down till there was nothing left in it. It was same all the way down. Don't know what that was for, but this area has held some huge bream, just in this little bit between this lock and this one here. Some massive bream. And I brought one of ours down once and he was fishing just outside at pub here. And he was having a blinding day catching these bream and roach. Massive bream, like 4 or 5 pounders for in here. And when they drained it all, there wasn't a single fish on the floor or in the water that were remaining. Every single one had gone. So hopefully over time, with locks moving, they make their way back up. But it's quite hard for any fish to move upstream in a canal. So we've probably gone down that way, which is never a bad thing. Safety ring, quite a busy area here. We've got an active pub. Again, you can park in car park if you're coming fishing and just get yourself on here. And just be mindful that, you know, in summer this is a really active outdoor eating and drinking area. Yeah, and you can either walk up this path and over at top, or I'm just going to walk you straight around the towpath this way, where the horses used to once to come. And I'm just going to walk you straight down this way, under the bridge. There's your spillway there, look. Again, really healthy. Loads of water pushing through. And you've got a Marsden's Hotel there. And then the next lock here. And again, it's fishing all up here as well. It's all on the same stretch. I can't miss anything out. deep lock, block 47. Yeah, and then all this bit as well. So nice big stretch all the way up here, around this corner. And again, all that far bank is just covered with foliage, overgrowth, reeds, rushes, you name it. There's everything there. And your fish love to get themselves tucked under there out of the way. So I'm going to go up here, around this corner. But yeah, this is a nice straight area here as well. If you fancy getting your stuff on a set of wheels and pushing it up front car park, or just coming up with some roving gear, quite a nice area to come and enjoy some fishing here. Just coming up to a little stile here, little passing point. And I can already see all the way down that far bank over there, there's been lots of maintenance down there as well. So we'll get over there and have a look in a second. But from this angle, we just walked up this way, loads of room. I mean, again, there's probably a bit more room here than there were down in Worksop Town to get your gear on. And if you get your pole siders on a roller and, you know, keep your landing at hand light away, you'll be all right. So pass through here, then make his way down here. Now there's a little sign over there. Look, you can just see it saying Rhodesia, or Rhodesia, however they pronounce it around here. And that's that village here. So it actually passes up side of Rhodesia and up towards Shireoaks that way. So here, look, all this recently been trimmed off, and I've said this before on plenty of videos. If you're doing lots of maintenance work in an area like this, where it's all sort of secluded and you've got a big area, woodland area behind you, or a reserve area, don't dream of cutting it down and finding labour and taking it away. Get it all piled up in there, and it'll photosynthesize over time, and it's really healthy for like local environment around it, for it to rot away and sort of grow from. As it rots away, all nutrients and natural sort of minerals and etc. that come from it, it's really good for the surrounding area. And especially if you've got water local to it as well, you know, it's great for water, really good for water. But yeah, loads of work's gone off recently as well. Probably the last couple of days we how fresh them cuts are. So they have been busy. So yeah, talking about day ticket prices, not missed it out, just forgot how much I'm telling you. Oh, morning squirrel, if you can see him. Oh, he's ran off down there. Adults, 15 quid for year for adults for this entire stretch, right? And I haven't finished it yet. Juniors, it's £7.50 for year. It's 3 quid for a day ticket, which is just unbelievable value for money. The bailiff does monitor, he walks up and down here, and you know, if you go into the tackle shop into Ken Ward's in Worksop, have a chat with them in there. Him and his wife run it, really nice people, loads of tackle for you, there's everything you need in there. It was actually a bit more than a tackle shop, it was actually a sports shop. Majority of the stock is fishing tackle, but he sells pretty much everything sports wise. So if any sports fans out there are looking for anything, whilst you know not everybody just does fishing, do they? So he's got everything in there. Get yourself up, covers from 44 to 51, £15 a year for a huge stretch of canal like this, which is just really good. And it's not a stretch of canal that's suffering either. It's very healthy, it's full of fish, there's plenty of life in it, and I mean there's some huge fish in here, massive carp, big pike, and some good chub, which are actually a bit further up at a popular spot. So if you're interested, get yourself to Ken Ward's at Worksop. There's an Alfred's next door. Go into Alfred's, get yourself a can of WD-40 or whatever, and then pop down to Ken Ward's and go and see them. And they've got all the information you need about the place. Really great store. And they're responsible for this stretch of canal all the way through Worksop. And it's got a very good reputation, that's all I'll say. Actually got a canal boat here. I'm not going to film it too much. I don't know if people are in it or not. I don't really know how they work, but big canal boat there, nice and comfortable. So yeah, loads of sort of fishing here for money. I got a ticket a few years back with boys, like 30 quid it'll cost you for 2 kids annual membership and your own if you're interested. So yeah, definitely worth it. I've actually got a couple of anglers up here, I think they're just setting up. Again, I'm not going in the way, but it just goes to show there's plenty in here if same people are coming back and bringing plenty of tackle in for a good day's fishing. We've got a nice big area over there as well. Bit of a turning circle for boats, but see that swan over there, look, resting on top of it. But water goes right underneath all that. It's a good area for fish to be held up. And then we get to bridge 40A. We've got another lock just through here. And also this little bit here in front of these houses down here. Absolute fish magnet. Don't get fished a lot. You don't see them often, but I've seen some good pike up to double figures down here when I've come on walks it past. Yeah, very appealing, like it's a really nice area to be. Like that house there, look, it's got like a little boat house, what they've built with a little boat in it. Right next to the canal. Yeah, very nice. You've got a main road that goes over the top, so Worksop town, McDonald's that way, and that takes you up towards sort of Gateford area. And goes right over the top. And again, all this as well, fishing. Just drop in wherever you like, but just consider your surroundings. Make sure you're not abusing rules. They are there to keep everybody safe and the fish. Yeah, and then at this point, we've got this bit of lock here. We've got an area down there which you can access, but ultimately, this is where we cross over now, Bridge 40, and make our way down that side of Canal. So this is your crossover point. And again, there's a bit of area there. I don't know as much about parking. You have to sort of get here, you know, weigh it up. Is it going to be worth it? And same with this area here. This is it's houses, people live here. So you have to just be mindful about where you're parking and if you can, before you start accessing areas. I'm not saying that you can just park in all these spaces, but at the same time, if there's no parking restrictions that are going to affect you, then you're going to do what you want, aren't you? So we are at lock 46, so 2 more locks to go. Spillway down this side. Me and Holly like to come down here and we get berries off. Can't remember what bush it is now. We get berries off for a bush. And we drop them in here and we race them right down and see who gets through first. And she always wins. But yeah, really healthy bit of canal. And again, I've seen people fishing down here before with plenty of tackle. There's an area here, look, I don't know if you can park here or if there's an agreement with anyone, but there's nothing stopping you. So just have your wits about you if you do come down. And you've got all access to this area up here as well. There is a path over that side, so where we've crossed over, and if you do follow it down, there's a pond over there. Look it up on Google Maps. I'll try and put a still on screen now. But as far as I know, there's no fishing rights on there whatsoever. It's got absolutely nothing to do with this, so just be mindful about fishing on that one. And now on that side, you've got all sorts of overhangs on that side, and you fish from this bank. There's been cars parked here before when I've come. Again, I'm not turning into, you know, a parking meter for you all, but there's like a bit of a lay-by here. I've seen people park there and I've seen people fishing there, so just, you know, have your wits about you, do some research, or if you know anyone that fishes down here, just ask them, can you? And if so, have you ever had any problems? Because even though there's no restrictions, it's sometimes just worth knowing, because although you might be fine doing it, you don't want to be inconveniencing somebody else at the same time. Yeah, big housing estate there to your left hand side over there. And then, yeah, this cover goes all the way down that far bank now, all the way down to the next lock. Down here is great for a bit of fishing. It's full of them. And I'll show you when we get there. But where Spillway actually comes in, front side at lock, seen some massive fish there, chub. And skimmers, bream, but mainly chub. Like, it's a very good area up here for chub. And they live very happy and very comfortably. Yeah, so this area under this bridge, and pretty much anywhere from sort of this area onwards, there's just that little bit more depth to it. When water's really clear, you can see it base at Canal all the way around here, but if you do like to spend a bit of time searching, you'll see these chub, and where they like to reside majority of the time when we walk up is right in front of that spillway there, where it ledges, and they'll sit there and they'll keep shooting back down, and you get loads of little fish that actually sit on the ledge, little tiny little fish, little fry and little like minnows or whatever, and we think that they actually go up and snatch these little fish and come down, because chub are predator fish for anyone that didn't know. But yeah, absolutely full of them around here, just in front of that, where that spillway comes in. There's not normally this much water, and it's normally just trickling over by about an inch. Absolutely full of them. Right, let's go a bit further up, but this is lock 45, Dofield Dun Lock. And it's lock here, really healthy. Spillway goes off around that way. Ah, very nice. Right, so we're just going up into road easier now. And again, this bit, still see plenty of anglers up and down here on a regular. Majority of the time when we've walked up here, we've always seen somebody walking around with a net hanging from his bag and a little spinning rod. So it does do quite well for spinning as well, for pike and big perch, for anyone you're interested in doing that. But even a bit further up here, there is a bit where you can park. Now, I tell you what, this, from this lock up to the next one at Shireoaks, is probably one of the most underrated areas of this stretch canal, because this is where there's a chap who I mentioned before. I don't know his name, and he's quite an old chap. He's got a jag, fishes up here, and I've walked past him before. I've been walking to him. He's been landing a big chub, putting it in his keep net. I've got to him. He's up to another one. I've filmed him while he's had it on. I'll have to try and find video. Put it in his keep net, and as we've come back down again, so you have many more. It's like, yeah, I've got about 8 to 9 chub and 3 or 4 bream. It's full of them up here, so definitely worth a trip on this one. So again, it is an active cycleway. A couple of cyclists just come down there, so have your wits about you. And this bit, loads of cover all the way up this far bank. Even more so a bit further up. Great area for getting over to whip pole, especially when water's like nice and dark like it is now. See plenty of anglers on here enjoying it. Quite glad I've come up to do this at this point, because this time of year it's gin clear. You can normally see it at bottom all the way across the bowl. So it's nice to come up at this time of year, middle of December, and it's actually got loads of colour in it. Looks really, really healthy. And fish will be feeling safer than ever. Right, we'll get around this corner. I'm sure there's a bit of area where people park. I don't know how you can park there, but there's a bit of an area where people park regularly when I come up this way, and that's where they park when they come fishing. So see if we can go up and have a look. I think it might actually be this bit here. So that bit of grass over there, you get cars parking on that and then crossing over with a gear. But I think a bit further up there's another popular area, so we'll get around there and have a look. Actually see, look, where something's come off at road, knocked all these down, knocked this tree down here, look. Something's had a right smash in there. Can't see as though it's been pulled out at Canal, so maybe it were a close one. Well, yeah, definitely close from going in, that. Very close. Yeah, so parking over there on that little bit of grass, look. There's like little bits of walkways where you can get through and get down to the bank. But it's just up here where that one chap, and I almost see him fishing up here, catching loads of chub and bream. We'll get up here and have a look. No fishing beyond this point. Danger, overhead electric power lines, which are there. But yeah, that chap, normally see him fishing round about here. So he'll be taking advantage of close as he can to no fishing area. Round about here, fishing probably just out track or maybe a third of the way out. Looking chub, 4 or 5 pound, bream to the same size, roach, some nice perch. This little stretch here of this water, this part of the canal, is full of fish. There's loads of them, and they must be really comfortable up here. Again, loads of cover on that far bank. yeah, so over there, look, you can see bits of grass where people have parked in past, and you just walk through with your gear, get your send down, and just have your wits about you, really. You know, as long as you're prepared to move it. I can't see any restrictions. I know it's not ideal to park over there next to grass, but you're off at main road. It's not like you're parked up main road, and you know there's no double yellows on that either. Right, go a bit further up here, and we'll get to the next sign that says no fishing. There's another one here, look, so there's two sets of power lines going over. No fishing. So we'll get up here to the next one and start from there. Is it this one? Yeah. So, danger, no fishing. So from where we were over there, hit to here, there's no fishing in that bit. So wherever power lines are, just find signs and you'll be fine. Dog waste bin. It's not going in at the minute, but it's got a dog poo bag thing there if ever you need one. But it's been empty for a while, but look for it. Then up here on the left hand side, you've got a few canal boats. And then the next, well, the first lock at Shireoaks. We'll get up there and have a look. Little pathway through there. You actually put these stumps in now, so you can't park there, but if you park a bit further down and make your way through, it might be a bit easier. Actually somebody working on this canal boat up here, so try not to film them. But yeah, loads of fishing all up this area as well, so definitely not to be ignored. Oh, Shireoaks Sports and Social Club, that's there. So if you know where that is, you'll have a rough idea of your bearings. And these boats pretty much moored up here majority of the time, so good holding area for fish. And we're just going around this bend now. Just coming up to the next lock on this bridge here. Yeah, same with this area here. You've got like a bit of a basin here just out of this bridge. See normally loads of people chucking lures over there for pike and perch. That's like canal boats, Chesterfield Canal Trust, the Python or whatever it's called, Python Trust or Python Group, doing a lot of work to their boat. This is a nice area. Some of you might recognise this backdrop here from good angling pal of mine on the old Facebook, and pretty much angling legend to everybody else as well, Mr. Nick Speed. He'll come down here and do dynamite features quite regular. Really enjoys fishing down here, Nick. Plenty of times I've seen him down here, and he's been down here because I only live over there. So whenever he's posted pictures on that he's been on Canal doing a feature, I recognise it straight away because I spend a lot of time walking up and down here. But yeah, full of fish, plenty of chub, loads of roach. Very nice area to be, very healthy stretch as well. And yeah, Nick has some blinding days just fishing here and just fishing out into here. I think one time he was fishing down here on pole, really close in, catching them, because that water comes in, hits that bank. So you can have a nice holding area down there for fish wanting all good stuff out of that flow. Shireoaks bottom lock 44. So this, I believe, is your limit. 44 to 51. And I think it's inclusive of this area here as well. So if any of you opportunists out there wanting to come up and do a bit of fishing, this area here is also included. I'll take you a bit further up anyway, because fishing up there is just as good and I'm close to it. But if you know your bearings, park up there, walk through with your gear, and same a bit further up here as well, and I'll take you up there. So yeah, another access point for you. But again, some good chub in these areas. Again, not long back this was drained and it was nearly empty. Well, it was empty. And we'll come down for a look, and none of those resident chub were around. So hopefully they'll have their own way of getting back up and down places. And again, this is between Lock 43 gates. Really, loads of water flowing in. All that weather we've had and rain that's come, really pushing down from upstream now. This, another good area for Nick and Mr. Paul Hardy Goose. And they've both done features on here in the past. Goose for Bagham and Nick for Dynamite, and well, both of them just representing just great angling, really. Oh, what we got here? Oh, a bit of a broken pole section. I'll leave it there, but yeah, it's been left up the bank. Yeah, so this area here as well, I've seen Nick and Paul fishing here before, and fishing out towards those reeds over there, having a blinding day catching chub, perch and roach. Sort of like chopworm and caster sort of areas. Bloodworm and joker does quite well if you know what you're up against and what sort of fishing's, if that sort of fishing's for you. You can have a good day's fishing on here, but even still, just come with basic maggot common sense, bit of ground bait. You'll never go wrong. There's a sign here. No fishing beyond this point. Danger overhead power cable. So we'll go a bit further up, because there's another small area up here I just want to show you while I'm this far up. But this is Shireoaks top block number 42. So the fishing rights are from 44 down to 51. But this one up here, I have fished it a few times with kids, come up with a little whip and a good day's fishing. Yeah, so here, look, Shireoaks top block, and there's some good fishing here. There's some good chub further up, but you can't fish up there. There's no fishing in front of houses. Some real good chub up there that live underneath the bridge. And you go to one side and they shoot under, you go to the other side, they shoot back. And a few times just chucking bits of bread there, and they absolutely nail it. So here we've got Shireoaks Marina, waterside mooring, and through here, which is again publicly accessible, there's a path that takes you around the outside, but all this is locked off. No entrance to this, only for residents. But this little marina here is full of fish. You can't fish it, but you come and stand here in summer, and it is just, there's some massive roach in here, huge fish. So this does hold some good fish. So don't ever put off this area out here. Right, and that's your Chesterfield Canal tour for the locks 44 to 51 permits and day tickets. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a steady drop back down into Worksop, and yeah, and conclude the session. Yeah, so any fishing rights, so that's lock 44 there. It's from that point down to Worksop town centre to Bracebridge. Any fishing rights up here and further up and onwards. If you come and have a day's fishing and anyone approaches you, always ask for the bailiff warrant card. Make sure you're paying the right people, and ultimately make sure that you are fishing where you're supposed to be fishing, because there's no harm in turning up anywhere without any information, especially if there's none on display and fishing somewhere. If somebody tells you you can't fish there and they show you reason, you can just get up and leave without any dramas. But by all means, come up, enjoy a day's fishing, and if anyone approaches you, just make sure you query the fishing rights for this area further up, that's all. Now, things we look out for on these audits: bins, benches, damage, safety rings, litter, problems, you name it. Like I look out for everything that can be a detriment to you or can help benefit you having a nice, healthy, safe day's fishing. Or even if you're not fishing, you know, safety doesn't just stop at fishing. And they're the sort of things that I look out for. This canal is very busy. It's very popular. It's used a lot. I know there's a big tree down at the minute over there which is stopping that from happening, but it is surrounded by a very busy town here in Worksop. So it is unfortunately just covered in litter. Local teams on Canal, Chesterfield Canal Trust and Canal and River Trust, they do a fantastic job keeping it as clean as they can. They do litter pickup operations quite regularly where they get loads removed and it goes off to recycle centres and waste disposal areas. So they do a fantastic job. You've got to remember, that's not every day. They do it when they can, when they're not busy, when it's convenient, and it's like a voluntary service as well for a lot of them. So just remember that. Safety rings, can't have a safety ring on every 100-metre stretch of the canal everywhere in the UK, because that'd just be ridiculous. But always practice safety anyway whenever you come near a canal. A lot of people have died over years in canals by falling in, being pushed in, you know, people just being a bit too optimistic on ice. Just stay out of them. Like, you never know. One area can be 3 foot deep, another area can be 12 foot deep. So just always practice safety, even if there's safety measures around you. So as for scoring it, I'm just going to leave it wide open. It's a very busy canal, but it's a very active fishery. It's a very active part of the canal. And there's obviously a lot worse places in the UK than this that suffer really badly. So it's just more of a review for you than anything, just to show you what's on offer this time. So yeah, still an audit, but we're not really going to worry about scoring it, because it'll have better days and it'll have worse days than today. So we'll just leave it there. So there you have it, people. Lock 44, where we stood right now, here at Shireoaks, all the way down to Worksop town centre to Bracebridge. You have got loads of fishing on offer, absolutely loads. Chub, pike, carp, perch, roach, you name it, everything is in here. There is loads of fish species, and in large quantities too. So for £7.50 a year for kids, which is just incredible, amazing value for money if they want to get into canal fishing, and even for you older chaps, fellas and fellettes, want an annual permit on somewhere new and you fancy some canal fishing, £15 for a year, 15 quid. I've sometimes took kids to McDonald's and just for two on them it's cost me more than that. So £15 for an annual permit, and you can come and enjoy some good canal fishing pretty much all the way downstream from here. It's an absolute bargain. Get yourself into Ken Ward's fishing stores and, well, sports shop at Worksop. They'll put you right, they'll tell you where all recent catches are coming from, information from bailiff, and ultimately how to enjoy a really good day's fishing at a very low cost. So thank you for watching this far. Remember to like and subscribe if you've not already. Hit the thumbs up button, that way any more videos like this in future you'll be notified straight away. Any comments, drop them down below and I'll get back to you where I can. So thank you for watching this fishery audit, and I'll see you on the next one.